I'm going to take a question from the gentleman in the third row there.
Dr. Nasser, you spoke that media wasn't fair to Dubai. Mr. Michal, you spoke that everybody would like to be in Dubai. And it's a place to grow and to prosper. It's a beacon to prosper. What about the 160,000 migrant workers in Dubai that are suffering every single day with less than $2 a day to live and to try to live, to actually build Dubai? What about those people?
I would like to take that.
If Dubai was a good idea, and as you're saying that it's a place to grow and a place, a beacon of prosperity, what about the people who were helping constructing this place?
Okay, let's let him answer the question.
You talked about 160,000. What's the population of the UAE? 5 million? So the balance, 490-something million, what you call 4.9 million, are benefiting out of Dubai. I'm not discounting that these people have an issue or have a problem, but this is a company issue. The government's job is to put regulations and to try to enforce it. But at the end of the day, it's a company.
Why is the government trying to silence it?
I'm sorry.
That is an issue the government has to take up. But I'm coming back to the point. You're talking about 160,000 versus 4.9 or 4.8.
It is not an excuse to say that the population of the Emirates is 5 million.
If I was to use pure mathematics, this is standard of deviation. But I'm telling you, you're talking about 4.8 million people who are benefiting out of Dubai.
And Dubai is 160,000 people are suffering every single day to build Dubai. What about those people?
The issue is very simple. They have an issue that they have to take up with their companies. I can't come and legislate everything in your life. I cannot do that.
Simon Jenkins, you want to come in on this?
I think it comes back to the earlier question, really. I would love it to be the case that Dubai was growing organically, steadily, as a vibrant community in which there were no buildings wasted. There were a quarter of the world's cranes went in Dubai. So many people weren't being sucked in to live on what are clearly slave wages. I would love it if this were, what I have to say, is a normal, very, very prosperous trading city. It has gone a little mad. It's the idea that's gone a little mad. There's no need for it. This could have happened calmly, quietly, in a regulated market. It's the idea that was bad.
Nasser,
with the violation of labor rights argument, I've heard this a million times. Now, these laborers, they came based on their free will. They were not slaves that were, taken from Africa to America. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. If they are living on $2 a day, they're coming from a place where they don't have food to put on the table of their children. No. That's one thing, and I'm not defending the violation of your labor rights. What happened in Dubai after 2003? Couldn't hear this before 2003. After 2003, everything went so quickly. People lost control. The government lost control. I can say that. And it's improving. Wait, it's improving. If you see it today, if you see it 5 years ago, it's totally different. It is improving. No, it is improving. You have to be fair with yourself, Sharla, and you have to be fair. It's improving.
Okay, let us say something. Let us say something.
Okay, those laborers and housemaids and exploited victims of abuse are in fact trafficked into Dubai. Now that is not Dubai's fault. However,
everybody's trafficked into Dubai?
Yes. Mainly,
5 million workers trafficked into Dubai?
From my study, the agents, from my research, I've researched this, the agents, I have researched all.
Do you have a maid in your house?
The agents.
Was it trafficked into your house?
Listen, the agents go. My maids are treated like family members. They've been with us for 20 years.
Everybody says that.
He's asking for the basis of your survey.
When it comes to his maid, everybody says that.
For the past 10 years, I have been doing, for the victims that I have taken care of in my shelter and the victims of labor exploitation that I have interviewed, and I have interviewed more than, a few thousand of them, okay? According to my study, the victims are trafficked into the Emirates by agents who put them into deep debt.
Lady over there, you have a question.
I'm from India. My question is for the speakers against the motion. So as you've said, Dubai is undergoing massive growth, and I agree. But don't you think that this massive development that encourages workers, thousands and thousands of workers from several nationalities, don't you think that will dilute your local Emirati culture in the long run? Aren't you worried about losing your culture?
Thank you very much, Yassir.
You want to answer?
Michel Kanu, why don't you do this?
Of course, again, you have to take into consideration many different aspects when you're talking about growth. There's the economic side of it, there's the political side of it, there's the financial side of it, there is the social side of it. And the point you're talking about is the social side of it. Now, if I look at the majority of the people coming, where are they coming from? I would say from the Indian subcontinent, and I think I'll be fair in doing that. I look at the culture of the Indian subcontinent, it's really not that far away from our culture. There might be some nuances and some differences, but let's face it, there is such a strong bond between the Arab world and the Indian subculture. I wouldn't really worry too much about that.
Here's the voice of the nationals here. They've lost their neighborhoods, they've lost their language, they've lost their culture, they've lost their identity. We had beautiful neighborhoods before. My mother-in-law can't even go outside because she's so intimidated.
Okay, Michel Kanu, answer that point about the neighborhoods.
Well, listen, everything evolves. Yes or no? Do you agree? Everything evolves.
There should be more preservation.
Excuse me, the United States, neighborhoods in the United States, in New York, in the turn of the century, are not the same as the turn of the century.
Okay, all right.
So doesn't imagine
Simon Jenkins, you don't want to come in on this? Okay.
Do you think multicultural society don't exist, or it's a bad idea?
Multicultural society is great with respect and preservation of what you have right there as well.
Okay, gentleman at the back.
My name is Mohammed Mahdi. I'm Pakistani. My question is specifically for Mr. Kanu. You seem to think that Dubai is a haven for the modern businessman. You say that people can come here and grow and prosper. Please explain to my question to you is, please explain to the audience how a state that has just borrowed $10 billion from Abu Dhabi can build investor confidence. Please explain how this is building investor confidence in the region.
This question wasn't asked a few years ago when Dubai was starting. Just because there was a global financial crisis doesn't mean that Dubai's model is unsustainable. Now, I will agree with one aspect from the other side, from my opponents, in that I don't really believe that we should have done it in 15 years, maybe 50 years. But still, is it a viable proposition? I think it is. Is Dubai going to be able to come out of this one? I think it will. Be it by the help of Abu Dhabi or by the help of whoever it happens. I will tell you, if you are in a business and all of a sudden your business turns sour against you, do you not go and borrow from the bank?
But how much borrowing?
Simon Jenkins.
Well, there's a serious danger of us agreeing, which would be a disaster for the motion. 15 versus 50 is the essence of this debate.
Yes.
But the idea was 15.
I know, I'm sorry, I disagree. That is not the essence of the point. The essence of the point is whether Dubai as a whole is a good idea. Dubai as a whole has proven
Let him have his say.
Either way, but the essence of the idea was to break through what might be called gradual organic growth. You rush for growth by building huge amounts of buildings. That was the idea of present-day Dubai. And someone asked a question about whether it isn't all just bad publicity. That's rubbish. Every state thinks it gets bad publicity. Confidence is the key to capitalism, and confidence has been destroyed, briefly maybe, but it's been destroyed for the time being, by going so fast for growth that you have a big collapse, and then you can't even tolerate people debating it.
Question. In 18 months, if things turn around and Dubai all of a sudden is back on track, do you think the same bankers who are today arguing against Dubai will not be begging and knocking on the door saying, please, give you money?
I will take you out to dinner if that proves to be the case.
Fine. I look forward to enjoying a very nice dinner. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other Emiratis in the audience? You, sir.
Hello. My question is to Ms.
You are from?
I'm from Dubai, from Zabin. My question is to Ms. Sharla. She said that Emirati nationals are being mistreated all over Dubai.
No,
their women are being used as sex slaves and prostitutes. I mean, I've never heard anything like that in my life.
You would never
about
hear
Dubai.
it.
Can he just
I've never
finish,
heard
please?
anything about that.
You wouldn't hear it. You know why you wouldn't hear it? Because your bloody media is just so... in the media, you don't hear anything. You don't hear the truth.
I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about me as an Emirati national, living in a society with lots of Emiratis. I've never heard anything like that.
Could you let him finish, please?
It's not about the media. It's about the Emirati society that I'm
Where
living in.
Where would you hear it from? Where would you hear it?
From any person that I'm living with in the Emirati society.